Today we're going to talk about the liver. And for a lot of people, they have this slow liver death. The cells become fatty, inflamed, and then they develop scar tissue. And so that kills these tiny cells. But what is the cause? Well, I'm going to show you, and this is going to not only shock you, but it's going to really piss you off. So I'm going to cover the 7 early signs of liver damage. These are weird symptoms that you might not connect to your liver, but they're so important to identify because the problem with the liver is by the time you find out you have liver damage, sometimes it's too late. Simply because the first signs of a liver problem are basically no signs. You don't know what's going on until sometimes up to 90% of that liver is destroyed. I have a lot of experience with this because I had liver damage early on in my 20s. And so I want to tell you what happened. Nowadays, alcohol is not at all the cause of liver problems compared to what it was long ago. I would say if we took alcoholic fatty liver disease and we compared that with non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, alcohol-induced fatty liver is roughly about 4%. Okay, that's 1/20th of this other fatty liver problem. But before I get into the root cause, I want to talk about these early warning signs. The number one symptom is kind of a fullness or a tightness, or even it could be a pain underneath your right rib cage. That sometimes can refer to the right shoulder or even down the arm or on the back part by the scapula. I didn't know what it was. It was my liver, and the liver swells up and it puts pressure on these little tubes that go to your gallbladder. And at one time I thought it was my gallbladder, but it really was my liver, since the liver controls the gallbladder, and the gallbladder is just this little sac that stores and concentrates fluid called bile, which is made by your liver. And bile, of course, helps you digest fats. I didn't have a clue what was going on, but I will say that that pain radiates up to the right side through this little nerve. It's called the phrenic nerve, up to the right side of the shoulder. So you're going to feel it right here, okay, like a tightness. I don't care how many times someone massages you, it's just going to be tight. And sometimes it can refer in the back into the rhomboid around your scapula on the right side, but that's all liver issues. What eventually happened to me is the vertebra in my neck, these are not bones in your neck, but in my neck, okay, all this tension on the right side was pulling these vertebrae to the right side, and that pinched a nerve that went down my arm. And I had all sorts of referred pain down my right arm. I had no idea it was connected to my liver. I thought it was a problem in my neck, and I had massages. It never got better. There's nothing like treating the wrong problem that just keeps that problem there. I did not connect the dots, okay? All right, number 2 is a loss of energy. Now, you might not feel like a noticeable fatigue, but you'll notice that you can't go a long period of time, like your endurance is suffering, especially if you were to do exercise or exert yourself. You kind of run out of gas a lot sooner.